Alrighty, the birth of the Netherlands. Okay, the Netherlands, you're also going to hear these people referred to as the Dutch. That's just something you need to know. So if you hear anyone talking about the Dutch did this or the Dutch did that, they're talking about the Netherlands. Okay, that is important to understand. And these people are masters of the sea. This is kind of the age where people start going and exploring the sea. Really all over the world, and the Dutch are better at it than pretty much anyone else. They know how to get from point A to point B. They're good at navigation. They build good ships, and they go and they get stuff done on the water. They're going to establish trade route with the island of Java. Now, Java is going to be located here in that little box you can see on the screen in current day Indonesia. So you can look up north, okay, on that map, you can see China, Thailand, Vietnam, just kind of to put you in the region of where they're at, the East Indies, okay, the East Indian Ocean. Is where they're located over here. So this is kind of like by the Spice Islands, a bunch of stuff going on in this area, and it's going to bring a lot of economic prosperity to the Netherlands. Okay, now you might ask why. First and foremost, this region is full of different spices, okay, hence why they're called the Spice Islands in this area. These are things that Europeans want and that you can make a lot of money off of trading. Coffee is going to be in this area as well, which is starting to come up and really prosper. They can sell money off of that. Different types of clothing that they can get from over here, dyes for clothing, different types of wood, all this different stuff that they can get from Java that they could not previously get in Europe. And they're going to be using that to make a lot of money going off. However, this is going to cause a number of possible problems. And I want you to think about in the back of your head, what might be some of the issues that's going to be here, okay? First and foremost, they're not located close to home, meaning if anyone were to attack, it'd be very hard for the Netherlands to defend their interest of in Java. Additionally, you're going to talk about some of the human issues. You already got a group of people living on the island of Java. Now you're going to be coming in there and telling them they need to act Dutch. That's going to cause some tensions building right in there. And the other thing to realize is the Hollands and the Netherlands are not the only countries that want Java. Okay, it's a very contested region. A lot of different countries around the world want it, so this might be causing a number of issues. So what's going to happen is the Netherlands realize that they need to protect their interests. Okay, they've got to get stuff done. They can't just control this area and say it's ours if they don't have a way of actually protecting that. So they're going to try to protect their interest, and they're going to do this by establishing the Dutch East India Trading Company in 1602. And that's an important company. You need to understand what they're for and understand that name if you really want to understand how the Dutch really managed to grow and prosper at such a quick rate. The important thing the Dutch East India Trading Company is going to do, though, is it's going to provide a tax-free monopoly of Eastern trade. So tax-free meaning there are not any taxes that are being imposed on people, which is going to encourage merchants to go over here and try to sell this, because everything they sell they're going to be making money off of. They're not going to be paying that money back to the government. The government's going to benefit from this, though, because the economy of the Netherlands is going to be strong. And a monopoly means they're the only ones in the region. So they're the only ones that control everything. There is no competition at this time period. Additionally, it's going to authorize the Dutch to build forts, which they can use to protect themselves if anyone were to try to come and interfere in their trading abilities in Java. They can establish colonies, which means they control a chunk of land outside of their home country. They can mint coins, which means you have ability to trade with one another. They can additionally maintain a navy and an army, so they can control the seas with military and they control the lands with military, which provide an extra incentive for people not to come in and to influence and attack this colony. It's going to provide them a lot of economic gain as well. Additionally, this is going to allow them to basically drive out competitors in the region. There's a number of other countries that are in the region that want to get going, but the Dutch East India Company is going to really kind of push them out. And one of those countries is Portugal. Okay, Portugal was over here with Prince Henry the Navigator. They had a lot going for them, but the Netherlands were just stronger. The Dutch East India Company was a more prosperous company, and Portugal wasn't making any money, and they were forced to withdraw from the region, allowing the Dutch to have that monopoly there. Additionally, the Dutch are going to be able to expand to North America. They're going to take basically the entire state of New York, and they're going to start controlling this. It's a very prosperous trade route because there's the St. Lawrence River, which goes right up through there, allowing you to go really all the way up to the Canadian border for the most part. And you're controlling a port as well, which is going to allow the Dutch to really grow and prosper. However, there's one major problem, strategically speaking, with this colony, and there's one large weakness. It's not that it's far from home, it's that it's surrounded by the English on all sides. So you've got the English down south of New York, and you got the English north of New York up in New England, meaning the English have a vested interest and would like to control this land, which is going to cause a number of issues for the Dutch with controlling New York. Okay, they can't necessarily control this. The English are stronger, and the English have land on either sides, meaning it's harder for them to defend. They'd be stuck in a two-front war compared to the English being able to simply kind of squeeze them out here. So the solution to this problem, well, we'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, the Dutch are forced to give their colonies to the English. They would like to fight back. They realize that they do not have the manpower or the money or the military in order to defeat the English in this. They would ultimately lose, and it's not worth it. So they're simply forced to give their colonies over to the English. Okay, New Amsterdam now becomes New York, which it is still called today. Okay, so the Dutch surrender their colony, give it to to the English. Okay, colonies are going to allow the Netherlands to prosper though, because they're going to use what's going on in the different regions to make economic gains. Okay, they're going to be using their trade routes, the stuff they have in that region that they're trading, and it's going to allow their economy to really grow and prosper. However, the one big problem with this is nearly their entire economy is based off of trade. Now, if your entire economy based around one thing and one thing fails, your entire economy fails. And that's going to be a problem that the Dutch are going to have, and it's a problem they need to address. That is all for now. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.